Hey guys, Rusty Westfall here. I am right outside of El Ranchito, which is not too far from Gateway on the Illinois side of St. Louis. And we're about to do our first burrito review. And as I'm standing out here in the parking lot, guys, I can just smell the love. I cannot wait to get inside and just dig in. So come on guys, let's go. All right, guys, Rusty Westfall here, and we are at El Ranchito. Is that right?
Correct.
And I am actually visiting with one of the owners,
Gabriel Morales.
Gabriel Morales. Gabriel, thank you for having us here today.
Thank you. Thank you.
Gabriel, so little known fact is that the idea here is to go to different restaurants that I've never visited before. But I think what better place to start off with the very first review than a place that's here in my own backyard, and it's what I think is one of St. Louis's biggest hidden gems. A place where people ask, hey, Rusty, what place would you recommend to go to, you know, there in St. Louis? And I say, well, you're never going to believe it. It's a place over in the East St. Louis area. And what I would like is for you, if you could just kind of tell us a little bit of the history of your restaurant, how you guys got started, how long you got started, just kind of tell your story.
My parents started in 1995 and with a small little area with like 8 tables and, you know, the grocery side of the business. So that was always his dream, to have his own business. And we came from Chicago because we lived in Chicago before we moved over here. So he always wanted to have a business, and he started, like I said, 1995 with a small little shop. And they worked it till about, I would say, 2009. And then they got tired. You know, it was a lot of work. But then I took over and bought them out. And then I expanded little by little. I did 2 different additions to the business as it grew.
Now, you said grocery store. Is that how this started, was as a grocery store?
Yeah, it started with the grocery store. And then like a year later, we added a few tables in the kitchen.
Okay. And a little side note here. Anybody who knows me knows my love of Mexican food. And I'm going to tell you guys something. The best places to eat Mexican food are usually the grocery stores that also serve Mexican food on site. I tell you what, and that's exactly what this place is here. So you started off with 8 tables?
Yes.
And then you grew into this mansion, more or less. Tell me a little bit about that growth and how you guys were able to successfully grow from 8 tables to what you have now.
So when I took over, I did some changes on the menu, a little bit of small changes. People don't like changes, but sometimes they do want different kind of changes. And then it started getting busier and more people, you know, I had big parties, but I couldn't serve them because it was so small. So then I did a first addition to the building, which was just this side. And then it got really busy, and then it got full, and then I did more room for bigger parties.
That's a good problem to have, isn't it?
Yeah. So then I did a second edition, and, you know, we get parties. You know, we're here to book parties, private parties or whatever, and I'll get a lot of. Tomorrow I'm going to have a graduation party back there. So it's a lot of room, you know, so when people want to have parties, we have real nice parties back there. They'll bring like a group of music or whatever, and we cater the food for them.
So I've got 2 key questions for you. Number 1, what are you guys best known for?
Our enchilada suizas or burrito suizo is with the green salsa. We saw a lot of those 2 platters. That's what, you know.
What do you think your best dish is?
I like.
He likes it all.
I like. Yeah.
He's like me.
Yeah, I like.
You don't discriminate.
I don't know. It's just everything. I do like the enchilada suizas a lot.
Do you?
Yeah.
He did not mention burrito, but that's okay. We love him anyway. Well, guys, here's what we're going to do. What I'm going to have my friend here is serve me up either his signature burrito or his most popular burrito, but it's dealer's choice. And whatever he serves in front of me, I'm going to scarf it down, and then I'm going to give you guys a review. So stay tuned for that. All right, guys. Chips and salsa. I want you guys to feast your eyes on that. See that? You see that oozing with love? That's what that is. That's love that is oozing from this saucer. Gabriel, can you tell me a little bit about your salsa? Because this is, in my opinion, one of the most unique salsas that I've ever eaten. And as I was talking to you before, it looks like pico de gallo. You know, traditional salsa is more of that saucy, usually red, and it's a tomato paste, if you will. But this really looks like pico de gallo. But then once you take that first bite, you scoop it up, and you get all that love on that chip. Just the amount of different flavors that comes from this one bite right here, words cannot describe it. Without giving out your secret sauce, pun intended, what do you have in there?
Well, you got your typical cilantro, onion, tomatoes, and then we'll put lime, salt, a little bit of the vinaigrette from the jalapenos, and then sometimes I know they're still doing it, but at one point we used to cut up a few of the habaneros and like just a few, to give it that extra kick.
I like the kick.
Yeah,
but that's not what I taste, and I think it's probably the lime.
Yeah.
When you said the lime, I think that's really what makes it pop right there.
Yep.
Is you have all these chunks of goodness right here, but you also have this nice liquid sauce, and that's where a lot of those juices stem from. So when you take that bite, you got the best of three worlds. You've got the sauce, you've got the crunch, and all the ingredients along with the chip as well, which is not too thick, but it's not too thin. And there is definitely no grease whatsoever on this chip. So it's almost like the perfect combination of a perfect bite right here. And as you guys know, chips and salsa definitely is a big part of my overall rating, which I'm definitely a big fan of this right here. Oh, that's what I'm talking about. Woo! Now you guys have a better understanding of why this is one of my go-to spots in the St. Louis area. I want you to take a look at that. Hold on a second. We're going to do this a little bit better. Check this out. See that? See that? Oh, yeah. That's what it's all about right there. Okay, so we're about to devour this bad boy. But before we do, without further ado, tell me a little bit about this burrito and what I'm about to eat.
Okay, so this is our carne asada burrito. We put
Carne
our
asada.
green sauce right here, so it won't be too spicy. And then we put Chihuahua cheese, which is one of the favorite cheeses, that we've always used.
Oh, I know my Chihuahua.
So we top it off, and then we put some sour cream, and then we put it in the oven to get the cheese nice and colored.
You guys see this? This is amazing. All right. Now, you guys don't think I'm going to eat all this in one setting, do you? Because it ain't going to happen. And if it does happen, two things. One, I'm going to end up in the hospital. And two, I think I'm good for the next week. That's how huge this thing is. Carne asada. And I didn't tell him what to pick for me. I did not select this burrito. However, carne asada is my favorite protein. So you're done good on that. There's so much love here. It's hard to get it all in one fork. I got some peppers in here.
Yeah, we put pickled jalapenos.
Pickled jalapenos, right? Y'all heard that? Have you ever had a burrito that had a pickled jalapeno that was automatically put in? It doesn't happen very often, and that's what makes this so special in addition to the seasoning. You guys know I'm very, very big in flavor. Presentation only goes so far. I can have the most beautiful presentation, but if there's no flavor, it's going to get a 1. It's just that simple. But this right here, there's so many different parties going on in my mouth right now. The pickled jalapeno is what really separates everything, kind of like with the lime juice inside this salsa right here. in addition to everything else that it's swimming in. And to bake it off, to top it off, it's baked off. And yes, I said bake it off twice. So there you have it. One more bite here before we turn Gabriel loose. Because Gabriel is a busy man. How many restaurants you own again?
2.
One is a full-time job times 2. So you got 15 full-time jobs. Guys, there's a reason why I tell everybody to go to El Ranchito over in East St. Louis. You just look up Gateway, and you're going to find the spot. So if you're in the St. Louis area, venture over here. Give my boy Gabriel a shout. He'll hook you up. Till then, we'll see you guys next time. Gabriel, thank you so much.
For having me.
All right. Even though this burrito's presentation looks amazing, that has zero effect on the rating. Fortunately for me and everyone else, it tastes just as good as it looks. The steak has a lot of flavor, which is something that most of these restaurants seem to miss the boat on. And another thing that I look for is whether or not the meat had any chunks of fat or gristle in it, which this one did not. Outside of that, the burrito itself just swims in a cesspool of juices and flavor. With that pickled jalapeno, taking it home. I don't believe there is such thing as a perfect burrito. So I've never issued a 10 rating before. But what I will tell you is that anything north of an 8, that's pretty darn strong. Average ratings for me usually come in around a 6 to a 6.5. And so for this lovely dish, I give it an 8.2. Now, let's talk atmosphere and service. First of all, I've never had bad service in El Ranchito. Every server I've ever had wait on me has always been top notch. Personal and on point with me every step of the way. And because the restaurant as a whole is so big, beautiful, and unique, all hiding back behind this grocery store almost like a speakeasy, I give the atmosphere and service rating at El Ranchito a strong 9. Chips and salsa is right there behind it, coming in at a 9.2. Let me explain something to you. When you take that first bite of their salsa, piled on top of those perfectly golden chips, it's a taste unlike anything else you will ever come across in other restaurants. And so for the overall rating, I am giving El Ranchito an 8.8, which is pretty unheard of with me. So if you enjoyed this video, please like, comment, and subscribe to this channel, and stay up to date on my next burrito review.